Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another Sunday meal prep video. Welcome back to all of my Jennifer's Gems. I love you guys. I am excited to bring today's video to you. We are trying one new recipe, and then we are also making our taco bowls, and I am going to make my chocolate cookies this week. Our new recipe this week is going to be orange chicken. I was going to do kung pao chicken because I was in the mood for an Asian meal this week. We are going to have the cauliflower fried rice and the vegetables with it, along with eating a spring roll and a couple of pot stickers during the week. But I wanted to change up the actual main portion of the meal, so I found a pretty low point orange chicken recipe. So we will see how that turns out. Excited to try that one. It uses just some sugar-free orange marmalade in it and some hoisin sauce. So excited about that one. Taco bowls, I'm going to make mine with the 99% lean ground turkey. It's a super low point, easy prep. Highly recommend this for anyone. Charlie's going to use ground beef for his taco bowls, and then, like I said, we will make the chocolate cookies for dessert this week. Charlie is stocked up on his candy bars and stuff, so he's not going to mind not having dessert. He usually doesn't eat the chocolate cookies. Those are usually always just for me. But anyway, if this is your first time joining me, my name is Jennifer. I'm 47 years old. I've been doing WW for a little over a couple of years now. And if you haven't subscribed, click that red subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. I usually upload 3 times per week. Also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle for you here on the screen as well. And then I have a really great Facebook group that I co-admin with Roy from Recipes with Roy and Bree from Balancing Life with Bree. The name of that is called Finding Our Way. This is the icon to that group. There is a direct link down in the description box to that Facebook group, along with other information down in the description box as well. I will have all of the recipes either linked if it's another recipe like this orange chicken recipe, or if it's something that is my recipe, then I will have that typed out for you. And then I will also link from my WW app to where you can just import it directly into your WW app and calculate your personal points, because with personal points, everybody's points are a little bit different. But for the most part, I tried to set up my personal points to be pretty much like the blue plan, which is what I've been on the whole time that I've been on Weight Watchers. I started when it was freestyle. When it switched to blue, green, or purple, I stuck with blue because that was just like the freestyle. And then I kind of set my personal points up to where I pretty much have the same 0 point foods as I did before. So not a whole lot really has changed. Most of my meals and stuff may change by a point or two here or there, but it really doesn't bother me. I really don't pay that much attention to that anyway. But with all of that being said, let's just jump right into the video. Alrighty, we are ready to get started. Today we are going to start here with the stuff that Charlie has to prep. Nico, of course, is up here trying to inspect everything. Really, Charlie does not have a whole lot of prep this week because I don't have any fruit or anything for him to prep. I just bought a little container of pineapple from Publix that was already cut up because I am doing my salads this week. That's why I have the red seedless grapes. And I won't need fruit for lunch every day. But if I want to do like a pizza a couple of days, I did pick up just one of those little small containers of the pre-cut pineapple. And then I can have pineapple and grapes. And I do still have 2 containers of fruit left from last week that I can kind of eat early this week. Like tomorrow, I'm not going into work, so I will probably have a pizza and one of those fruit things to go ahead and eat it up. And then I know I'm going into work Tuesday. I'm not sure about Wednesday and Thursday, but I'll kind of have salads those days. So for the orange chicken, Charlie is going to dice up 3 or 4 chicken breasts. He's just going to kind of determine. I think there's 5 in here. And then I want to boil at least probably 3. I know that we have some frozen ones. We will pull those out, and then I'm going to put those in the crock pot and let that cook all day for my lunches. And then he just has the 3 peppers to dice up for my normal bell peppers that we dice up every week. I will do the grapes because I like to go through, pluck them all off, and then really wash these really well in the vinegar and water because they are so dirty. It is worth it to go ahead and go through that, and you would be amazed as to how filthy the water is whenever I have to rinse it several times. They're pretty nasty, but I will do the grapes. All Charlie is going to prep today is chicken and peppers. So we will roll into Charlie's prep now. Well, let's say hello to Nico. Nico, say hello to your friends. Nico, don't turn your back. That's rude. Nico, say hi to your friends. He's not going to look at y'all. Huh? Oh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Alrighty, guys. Now we will roll into Charlie's little prep here. Okay, I need to get my chicken breasts in the crock pot because they need to pretty much cook for 4 to 5 hours or so on high. These are for my salads. This week I'm just going to shred it up. I have just seasoned one side with salt and pepper, so I'm going to put them in, and then I'm going to season the other side with salt and pepper. You can use other seasonings if you want to. I just kind of keep this plain because I just feel like it tastes better on my salads if it doesn't have too much seasoning on it. And then I can just really taste my salad dressing and stuff better. So salt and pepper. And then I am going to use 1 can of chicken broth that I'm going to put in there. And then I'm just going to put water over the rest of it. Okay, so there we go. So we've just put salt and pepper, a can of chicken broth, covered it with water. We are going to put it on high, and it's probably going to cook for a good 4 to 5 hours or so. And then we will just shred it up and have it ready for salads to make real easy this week. And also you can make this and, you know, put barbecue sauce on it, any kind of sauce that you wanted to add to a wrap, make quesadillas out of it, whatever. So it's a very versatile meal prep if you wanted to just prep some chicken to shred and keep in the fridge. Okay, so I have gotten my grapes washed and rinsed very well. I washed it in the white distilled vinegar and let them soak for like 10 minutes or so and just rinse them. I did not film that because it took forever just to pluck the grapes off. I do like to go through and pluck the grapes off and make sure there's no little stems or anything in them because I'm throwing them on a salad and I may not necessarily see it. So anyway, I always just take that extra time to pluck them good and make sure that there's no stems or anything. And then definitely wash your grapes really well. They are extremely dirty. And then we have the diced peppers that you just saw Charlie dice up for me as well. I do not have any other fruit bowls or anything to prepare this week. I just got one little container of pineapple from Publix that was already cut up just to have with some of my lunches if I have pizzas or something. But for the most part this week I'm going to have grilled chicken salads with just the grapes on it. So I'm going to put this away and we are going to get started on our orange chicken. Okay, we are getting ready to start on this Weight Watchers 5-ingredient orange chicken, and I got this from Kim's Inspired DIY. Which I have never used one of her recipes, but I will have it linked down in the description box below, along with the link to my WW app for you to just import in for your points calculations. Hers calls for 450 grams of chicken thighs. I'm just going to use chicken breast because that is 0 points for me, and so we have that diced up here ready to go. This says 0.3/8 of a cup of sugar-free orange marmalade. I'm just going to use half a cup of this sugar-free because I can't even be bothered to measure out 0.3/8 of a cup. 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, which I have this huge bottle. I hope I like it, and we'll use this again in the future. And then 1.5 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar and 1.5 tablespoons of sesame oil. So basically we're going to heat up the sesame oil, add in the chicken, cook it until it's kind of cooked in, and then add in the other 3 ingredients. So I'm going to get everything kind of measured out, ready to go, get my pan started, and then we're also going to make, hold on, my phone's ringing. Okay, and I'm also going to be making the fried cauliflower rice, and so I'm going to do 3 bags of that, and then I'm going to use 1 egg, some soy sauce. This packet of the fried rice seasoning mix is what really makes it taste good, and then it does not taste like cauliflower. It actually tastes like real fried rice, and then just some minced garlic. And then to go along with it, to mix in with the chicken, I do have a couple of bags of these veggies. I'm basically just going to steam them in the microwave, and then once the chicken and stuff is done, I will mix it in with the chicken, and then just put that over the top of the rice whenever I serve it. And then we will eat a spring roll and a couple of pot stickers on the nights whenever we eat this. So let's get started. Hopefully this comes together pretty easy. The Kung Pao chicken is easy to make, and I think this one is going to be as well because it's literally 5 ingredients. I will salt and pepper my chicken, of course. Alright guys, we are getting ready to start on the chicken. We are going to put in the 1.5 tablespoons of sesame oil. So there's 1.5. You could leave that out if you wanted to, but I do find that that gives it a pretty good flavor, so I do like the sesame oil. I'm going to stir this around for a minute. I almost forgot to put the sesame oil in. I put the chicken in for a minute and then realized that I needed to put the sesame oil in. So we're going to go ahead and add in the chicken, which I have already put a salt and pepper on it. And while this browns up, I'm going to get my orange marmalade measured out, and we will be back in just a few minutes. We will let this kind of cook through, and then we'll add in all the sauce, and I'm going to get the veggies in the microwave and get those steaming as well, and everything set up for the fried rice. Okay, so the chicken is cooking away pretty good. I have my orange marmalade measured out, and then I will just do the hoisin sauce and the balsamic vinegar whenever I add it, because it's just a couple of tablespoons of each. So we're going to go ahead and put the fried rice on in this pot here, because, or the cauliflower rice, because it needs to soften up, and it takes a few minutes for it to do that. So I'm just going to spray this with olive oil spray, and then we are going to add 3 bags of this cauliflower medley. There's 1, 2, and 3. And for now we are just going to salt and pepper it and put the lid on and let it get softened up. Once that's softened up, we will add the garlic, the soy sauce, and scramble the egg and mix in there with it. And I have the veggies going in the microwave, and the chicken is looking pretty good. I'm going to let it cook a couple more minutes, and then we'll add in the sauces. Okay, so the chicken is slightly brown. I've turned the heat down on it a little bit. In fact, I think it's looking pretty perfect. So we're going to go ahead and add in the balsamic vinegar, which is 1.5 tablespoons. We'll do 1.5 tablespoons of that. There's 1.5. We're going to do 3 tablespoons of the hoisin sauce. There's 1. That's kind of a big one. We'll do a small one, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do the half a cup of the orange, sugar-free orange marmalade. And then I'm just going to turn the heat down, and we're going to let this get blended well and cook for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to add in the steamed vegetables. I steam those in the microwave. Okay, that's mixed pretty good. I'm just going to let that sit here and simmer for a few minutes. Let me check on this fried rice. our cauliflower rice. Oh, it's starting to burn on the bottom. Dang it, I should have turned it down. And I'm just going to remove it from the heat. So it's definitely softened up. It almost burnt. A little spot did, but I think it's fine. Okay, so the fried rice needs 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. Oh, this is new. Hang on. She's not open yet. And this is a ½ tablespoon, so we are going to do, what, 8 of these? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're just going to do 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. I always like to use this one in the jar. It saves me a lot of work. We're just going to do 1 big heaping teaspoon in there. Okay, so we have the garlic and the soy sauce mixed into the fried rice. Now the last thing we need to add is the fried rice seasoning packet, and then we will scramble the egg and it will be done. So I'm just going to mix this up and let this kind of sit for a minute. I need to let the pan warm back up, and then we're going to push it over to one side and we're going to scramble the egg. I'm going to grab my steamed vegetables so that I can mix in here with the chicken and they can kind of absorb some of this sauce as well. Okay, so I have my veggies mixed in there with the chicken. Now we are going to go ahead and scramble the egg. I'm going to push this over to one side and we'll scramble it and then mix it in together, and then that will be done as well. So here is my egg. I just always like to crack it in a little bowl first, and we'll just put it over there and scramble it. And it doesn't take but a couple of minutes to do that, and then we just mix it in with the cauliflower. If you don't want to put the egg in, you don't have to. And just like that, the egg is scrambled. So we are just going to mix it in with the rest of the cauliflower rice. I'm going to turn the heat off since I've already just about burned it. And that's it. Now we have some perfectly good cauliflower rice that is low carb, low calorie. This is either 0 or 1 points per serving. I can't remember exactly. It will be linked down in the description box below. And I don't know the points calculation yet on the orange chicken because I haven't calculated it. But this should be pretty low as well. The sesame oil will add a little bit of points to it, and I'm not sure on the hoisin sauce. So it only has 35 calories per tablespoon, so that probably will add like a point per serving. So you're probably looking at 2 or 3 points per serving on this one as well. But these are about done, and then we will get them plated up. Alright, we are ready to start plating this up. I'm going to put the fried cauliflower rice in the bottom, and then we will top it with the chicken and veggies. I will leave this end empty because I like to make the spring roll and the pot stickers, and then this is just the perfect little container to hold all of that stuff in. So we are just going to divide the fried rice equally, and then the chicken and veggies as well. Alright, here is the completed orange chicken with the stir-fry vegetables and the cauliflower fried rice that is underneath. It is looking delicious. I can actually smell the orange marmalade in it, so I'm curious to see how it tastes. I did not taste test it, so it will be a surprise. We will see. And then if we have to add any additional sauce whenever we eat it, we will let you know during our meal prep review. And then one other question I always get is, what spring rolls do I eat with this meal and pot stickers? And this is them. So here, take a screenshot of that because this is one of my biggest questions that I get asked. So If you ask me, I'm going to say I showed it in the video whenever I was plating up the meal. So Chung's vegetable spring rolls, not egg rolls. And these are 3 points for the roll and the sauce. So I have 1 roll and 1 little packet of sauce. And then the Thai chicken pot stickers. And it is 3 points for 2 of these. And then I just use the little sauce packet that I use from the vegetable spring roll and put on my pot stickers as well as I'm eating them. So, Chung spring rolls, Thai chicken pot stickers. This is open, so it's harder for me to hold this one up. And just so you can see what size these are, if I can get one out. So, this is about the size of them. We cook them in the air fryer. Now, these come with some kind of packet of sauce in there. I never use that. I throw it away. So, that is one of my biggest questions that I get anytime I show the Asian meal. So that's them. Take a screenshot. I can only usually find them at the Chung spring rolls either at Publix or Kroger. The Thai pot stickers either at Kroger or Walmart. I don't think Publix actually carries those. So anyway, I'm going to put this away and we will get started on the next meal. Okay, we are getting ready to start on our taco bowls, which I do have my recipe here for the ground turkey taco bowl, which is what I am using for mine. Charlie is going to use ground beef for his, but otherwise everything is the same. So it is a pound of 99% lean ground turkey. I'm going to use half a packet of this Frontera taco sauce. It is really good. I'm going to use half a packet, and this is on each of ours. So we will split this packet of the hot and spicy taco seasoning and half a packet of the regular taco seasoning, and then we will split this as well. Of course, we will do salt and pepper and then chili powder and ground cumin to taste. Charlie's actually going to come in and help. He's going to do his own taco meat because he kind of does his a little differently than I do, and also just to speed up the process. And then we will just drain and rinse the corn and the black beans to put in the bowls, and that's exactly what the bowl should look like. So I'll have a row of beans, a row of corn, and a row of the ground turkey. And then I love to take it and make it into a couple of quesadillas on the night that I eat it. This is so good, so easy to make. This is a quick, easy meal prep for lunch or for dinners, whatever. So we are going to get started, and I'm going to get Charlie in here so he can cook his part. And I don't know, we'll probably set the camera up and kind of speed through it since he's going to be in here as well. Alright guys, we have Mr. Charlie here. Say hello. He's been working in the garage on a little project for us. We will show you later. We are going to do the tacos. And also, just so y'all know, we don't really have any heat. I mean, we have heat, but it's not keeping the house warm. So it's been, what, 60 degrees in here the past couple of days. Super cold. So that's one reason I'm kind of bundled up in a t-shirt and a sweatshirt and everything else, and I'm still kind of cold today, but they're coming tomorrow to check it. I think it's the auxiliary heat, but like I said, I'm not pointing this knife at you. I have to have the knife to get my ground turkey out. So we're just going to throw this together and speed through this real quick.
You've been, it's like I waited all my life, so happy that I found you. On paper thin, always been this shy, but haven't felt this in a while now. So sad when we are apart. If you leave, you break my heart. I need you to need me too. Stay with me when it's getting dark. Hold me tight, close in your arms. I want you to want me too.
Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and add in some chili powder and some ground cumin, and then I'm going to use half the packet of the original taco seasoning, half a packet of the hot and spicy, and half of the Frontera taco sauce. Charlie's already used his half of everything. And that is pretty much it. This is just going to sit here and simmer just for a few more minutes. It is pretty much done. And then we will be ready to plate up. I'm going to drain and rinse the beans and corn and get that ready. And so then I will see you when I'm plating up. Alright, we have our ground turkey taco meat and Charlie's ground beef taco meat ready. I've got the black beans and the corn drained and rinsed, and I have our bowls ready here. We are just going to plate it up. And again, this is such an easy low point meal prep. I think this comes out, it comes out to 2 points. At least it did on the blue plan. That's what I have printed on the recipe for the ground turkey. Now, if you use something else, obviously you would have to count it differently. But if you season up the ground turkey and any lean meats or anything well enough, it tastes delicious, I have figured out. That's why I make everything spicy. And then the same thing for Charlie's ground beef. We would just divide it equally. Okay, and then I'm just gonna divide the corn equally between all 6 bowls.
It's so hard to just be honest. Why is it so hard to speak the truth? Why is it so hard to just be honest when I want this? Maybe you want it too, so I just need to tell you. I just need to tell you.
Here are the completed taco bowls. Mine are the 3 in the front with the ground turkey, corn and beans, and then Charlie has ground beef, corn and beans in his. Again, these are so easy to make, so delicious. You can do so many things with them. Love having these. You can make a taco salad out of them, quesadillas out of them, whatever you want to do. Burritos, you name it. Highly recommend this. Super easy, super low point meal if you use the 99% lean ground turkey. And then you can also just use less taco seasoning and stuff too. The Frontera sauce and the taco seasoning is what makes it 2 points. So if you used even less taco seasoning and stuff, then you could almost have a 0 point meal if corn and beans are 0 for you. So that is one thing to point out. I did choose corn and I did choose beans as 0 point foods because they've always been 0 since I was on the blue plan, and I wanted to keep it that way. So again, 2 points for me on my personal points, but I will have it linked down below so that you can import it into your app if you want to try this, and it will calculate your points for you. I'm ready to work on my chocolate peanut butter protein cookies. I printed me off a new pretty recipe because I didn't even have it printed off myself. So, and here comes Nico. I'm gonna have to get him down. Just ignore him. But anyway, this is really good. It's really low in points. It is 1 point for 1 cookie, at least on the old blue plan. And it was 2 points for either 2 or 3 cookies. So you could have up to 3 cookies for 2 points, which is what I always had. I actually think you could have 4, but I don't think that I could have ever eaten 4 because they are pretty filling. Hi, Nico. No, you're going to have to get down, buddy. Usually they never come up here whenever I'm meal prepping. They're sleeping. All right. We'll get him down. So let's go through the ingredients. So you're going to need 1 scoop of the PE Science Select chocolate, well, frosted chocolate cupcake protein powder. I love this one. I highly recommend it. I love all of the PE Science protein powders. You can order this on Amazon. I have it linked in my Amazon storefront, which is down in the description box below. Then I like to use this Matrix peanut butter cookie protein powder as well. I have this also linked in my Amazon store if you want to order some and try it. Both of these are good. Both of these are really sweet. I always get questions, can you substitute something else? Sure, go ahead, try it. I've never tried it any other way. Other people have. Some have liked it, some have not. So some people substitute PB2 instead of buying the peanut butter cookie matrix, but I've never tried it that way. So don't be afraid to try something. If you want to try, if you've got chocolate protein powder and you've got some PB2 at home, throw it together, see what it tastes like. I mean, what have you got to lose? Again, these protein powders are both high quality and they both bake well, and they are both really sweet, which is the way that I like it. So anywho, highly recommend using those, but don't be afraid to try something else. Then 200, basically half a can of pumpkin, which I used 3/4 of a cup last week. I don't know how much I have left in there. I'm just going to use the rest of the pumpkin that's left for this week. It should be a little over 200 grams. It is 0 points. When you put this into your recipe, which I'm actually going to change it in my recipe builder, because Libby's pure pumpkin is 0 points, but somehow it adds like 8 additional points per serving because you've eaten vegetables. But if that happens, you need to choose like a generic pumpkin puree that is 0 points in its place. I always usually use the Libby's pumpkin because I like it, but Weight Watchers app has it in there incorrectly. So if you eat a serving of these cookies, you are not going to want to add 8 additional points to your daily points allowance, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there. I'm going to try to remember to update it in my app because it does add. Somebody asked me that the other day and I was like, pick a different pumpkin, that's what's wrong with it. And they said, yep, that's exactly it. And so they picked a different pumpkin and it was perfectly fine. All right, moving on. We are going to use, let's see here, 5 grams of the sugar-free chocolate fudge jello pudding mix. You could probably use any sugar-free chocolate jello pudding mix. If you don't have it, then that's probably fine as well. I forgot to get out my Hershey's dark cocoa. I knew I was missing something. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, we're going to also use 10 grams of the Hershey's Special Dark Cocoa, and then I'm going to use a tablespoon of baking powder, 100 to 150 grams of egg whites. On the recipe, I have 100 to 130. I usually use closer to the 150, just because it really depends on the consistency, to be honest. I just kind of play it by ear. So egg whites are 0 for me, so it doesn't matter. I'm not sure if they are 0 for you or not. After we mix all of the dry ingredients, then we will add in the egg whites and the pumpkin and kind of do the egg whites last. That way we know if we have the correct consistency. And then at the end we will add in 14 grams of the Lily's no sugar added dark chocolate baking chips. And then we are going to bake these 350 degrees for about 9 to 10 minutes. You don't want to overcook them. You don't want to eat them immediately either. They will kind of puff up, and then you want to let them set completely. These are not like a Chips Ahoy cookie or anything like that. They are a different texture. They're more cakey, spongy like, because they're made from the protein powder, but they are good. The first time I made them, I didn't like them, but then I made them again because they were such a low point filling treat at night, and then I kind of got hooked on them. I think I ate these for a full year. Every week I made these, and then I kind of got burnt out on them. We've tried a bunch of different dessert recipes and stuff, but I've been kind of missing my chocolate peanut butter protein cookies, so we are bringing them back. We're making them this week. I know this is a long intro into the cookies, but I just wanted to explain everything because it has been a while since I have made them. We will make 12 cookies, and let's get started. Okay, after that long explanation, we will try to speed through this. One thing different that I am going to do is I am going to sift my dry ingredients, because sometimes I've noticed, because I use like a big heaping tablespoon of this baking powder, that it tends to want to clump up in there. So I'm going to sift it. That's something that I used to not do, but I noticed sometimes there'd be little chunks of it in the cookies, so I'm going to see if that helps out. So we are going to go in with 1 scoop of the PE Science Select Chocolate Protein Powder, or Frosted Cupcake, and then we're going in with 1 scoop of the Matrix Peanut Butter Cookie Protein Powder. And we are going in, this is actually open. I always tape my little Jell-O boxes. I'll have to retape it. I'm going to get my scale, and we are going to do, well, let's do the special dark cocoa first. So we're going to do 10 grams of this, and then I'm not going to tear it out because it really doesn't start reading it until it hits 5 grams, and so I'm just going to put this up until it's at 15. Perfect, 15. So 10 grams of the Hershey's dark cocoa and 5 grams of the Jell-O. And then we are going to do a big heaping tablespoon of the baking powder. In my opinion, it is necessary to kind of have the big heaping tablespoon, but sometimes I would notice little chunks, so that's why we are going to just sift all of this. So I'm just going to make sure that's mixed well, and then we're going to go in with the pumpkin and the egg whites. So I'm going to tear this out just to see how much pumpkin it is. Usually I do about 212 grams. There's 425 grams in this can of pumpkin, supposedly, and I just try to do half of it per batch of cookies. Perfect, 221 grams, so I wasn't sure how much was left. And then on the egg whites, we are going to start with, I'm going to put the spoon in there. We're going to start with 100 grams or so, maybe 120. Oh, there we go, 125. And we'll check the consistency. Okay, now looking at the consistency, I feel like See how it's a little too thick? And it doesn't need to be runny, but it does need to be a little bit thinner. So we're going to go in with about 20 more grams. Okay, now looking at this consistency, and I don't know how well you can see it. I feel like the light's not shining on it good. Let me see if I can get y'all a better angle here. Okay, you see how that's not as clumpy? It's not runny, but it's still really smooth. So that's what we're going to go with, and that was 150 grams of egg whites, almost exactly. Oh, I forgot. We got to add in our chocolate chips. We're going to do 14 grams. There we go, 14 grams exactly. So I'm just going to mix this, and then we will be ready to scoop out the cookies. Okay, so I have my baking sheet. I'm just going to spray it with the Pam baking spray. And we're going to scoop it into 12 cookies. There they are. They are ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put mine in for 9 minutes, 350 degrees. Alrighty, here are my cookies fresh out of the oven. If you can see how they are puffed up, they will go down. They will kind of settle. This one is the only one that looks a little soft to me because it's a little bit bigger. I guess maybe it got a little bit more. But overall, these are looking perfect. I'm just going to let them set. I will not eat them until later tonight. I would not suggest trying to eat them right now. They will probably be kind of runny or whatever. So let them set, let them cool. I store them in the refrigerator, and then I warm them up for 30 seconds whenever I eat them. And I do eat 3 for a serving for 2 points. Alrighty, we have finally finished up today's meal prep. Everything's looking and smelling good. I'm so curious to see how I like the orange chicken this week. I don't have any fruit and stuff really prepped because I am doing salads this week for work. So over here I did just shred up my chicken breast. I didn't film shredding that up because y'all seen me shred up chicken breast several times. So I will just store it in the fridge like this and put about 4 ounces or so on my salads. And then I have my grapes that I washed earlier. I do just keep them in the fridge like this, open in the bowl. I don't know why. I just feel like it keeps them from molding or whatever, so some air can get to them, I guess. That's just my personal preference. Here is the orange chicken with the stir-fry veggies and the cauliflower fried rice. Again, this I hope is delicious. I have not tried it. I have not even tasted it. But we will definitely let you know what we think. And then y'all know we love the taco bowls. This is Charlie's here on the left with the ground beef, and then mine here on the right with the ground turkey. And then corn and beans are 0 points for me, so this is a 2-point meal. I will use a couple of quesadillas to make it, a couple of Olay Extreme Wellness Wraps to make them into quesadillas. So it'll probably end up to be like a 5 or 6 point meal when it is all said and done. There are my cookies back there that I baked. I store them in this little container in the fridge, and then just warm them up for 30 seconds whenever I eat them. And then over here I went ahead and prepped my breakfast for all 5 days. I'm not going into the office every day this week. I know I'm not going in tomorrow. I'm on Tuesday, but I decided to go ahead and prep my breakfast because it does just help me out in the mornings when I'm like super busy and trying to get stuff done instead of having to stop and cook my breakfast. It's just easier just to heat it up for the couple of minutes that it takes, and then it is ready to go. So overall, I feel like I have completed another successful meal prep. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me yet again for another Sunday meal prep. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you try some of these recipes. Let me know down in the comments. I love you guys. Thank you so much to my Jennifer's Gems that make it all the way to the end for every video. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are the real ones. And if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to click that red subscribe button down below. It really helps out my channel, and like this video. And I love you guys. I will see y'all in the next one. Thank y'all so much.
I see you dancing on the Polaroids. Just wanna have a good time, don't you? It all goes slow.